Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and back to another tutorial video for Train Life, a railway simulator. And this one is about postage trains. Now, there's been a lot of comments to the recent videos and live streams about this, and firstly, thanks very much for all the interaction on those videos. That's very nice to see, and of course, if you've got a question and I can help with that question, I will certainly try to answer that. But this one in particular is around postage, and a lot of players are saying to me, I go to collect postage, nothing's happening. I don't seem to be able to pick postage up. It's not loading correctly. It must be a bug. Well, there's several steps you've got to go through to do this correctly. It is working correctly, by the way, but it's not always that intuitive on how you would do this. So I'm going to show you now. So we are at the Prague warehouse just at the moment. So let me go into the map first of all. So you can see that it's only the warehouses that produce mail. You can see that the Prague warehouse where we are now is 724 it produces. If you look at the refinery, obviously you know what that's going to produce, a coal mine, straightforward. The main stations are just passenger. Farm is grain, meat. But if you look, Nuremberg warehouse, it accepts quite a number of goods, but it only produces mail. So you're picking up mail from warehouses. So that's the first thing. Make sure you're at a warehouse. And what we'll do then is we will come back to the Prague warehouse first of all and look at the train, because what I've done is I've been into the service centre and I have changed the mode over to passengers and postage, and what I've done is I've added a full 12 wagons that can take postage. So make sure your train is set up for postage. That's the next thing. Then what we'll do is, if we flick back to the map again, I think what we'll do is we'll go to the nearest warehouse, which actually is Nuremberg warehouse. So that's where we'll take mail. We'll take it from Prague warehouse up to Nuremberg warehouse. So let's have a look in the station panel for where we are and see if there is anything for Nuremberg warehouse. We'll see if there's any mail. So let's query the station.
Hello, this is the operator. Is there something you need?
We'll open the station panel.
Sure. Here's what's available.
So this is where the difference is. So if you're doing cargo, you go into the available contracts and you accept the contracts. You'll have seen that in one of the previous videos, and I'll put a link to that up in the right hand side. But where postage is concerned, it's slightly different. So this tells you what there is. And if we come along, let's have a look for Nuremberg. They're all in alphabetical order. So let's just quickly go along. So you can see there is indeed a contract for Nuremberg. 32 items of mail for Nuremberg. That's the only one. So what we could do, if there are any intermediate stops between where we are in Prague and Nuremberg, we could pick those up as well. But we're going direct to Nuremberg. We're not going to pass any other warehouses on the way. So you don't select it in the screen. If you go back, and I think this is where one of the mistakes is coming. So you can see in the bottom left, no route is set. So I think what some players are doing is, and I'll do it now, they're toggling the doors. So can you see next to my train, it says passengers and postage. I've got 0 out of 900. So I've not got anything on board at the moment. So the doors are opening. And it says finish pickup. So let me press X again, which is closing the doors. And now I think what people are doing is they're now setting off towards the the Nuremberg warehouse or their equivalent destination. But if we go back again, you can see that next to the train there, I've still got 0 out of 900. So I think people are setting off perhaps with an empty train. And the reason for that is, at the warehouse, the first thing you need to do is tell the warehouse where it is you're going. So let's go into the map. We're at the Prague warehouse. Let me just check that out. All we need to do is set the destination. So we're going to, not that one, we're going to this one. So this is our route, Prague warehouse to Nuremberg warehouse. And you can see the GPS in the bottom left now tells me Nuremberg warehouse. Now if I open the doors, this hopefully will load the postage that we saw in the contract screen. So it says picking up postage. So let's let that finish. Then we finish the pickup. We just X to toggle the doors again. There we go. So now to work out if we have actually got postage on board, there's a couple of ways. If I go back here now, you can see next to the train, passengers and postage, I've actually got 32 out of a capacity of 900. So I've definitely picked up some postage. The other way to check is if I go to company, my train, and I need to switch this to postage at the top, which is tricky on console. There we go. Eventually we get there. I think it's easier with a mouse on PC, definitely. So you can see there now our destination is Nuremberg warehouse from Prague, and we will get 23,000 for this. So that's the other way you can tell what's active. So all that remains now is that we take the emergency brake off and we go on our merry way to Nuremberg warehouse. And when we get there, all we do is get station access as we approach, as we normally would. It'll guide us to the correct area, and again, there is a video that I've done which will show you what to do as you approach the station with a delivery and how to get the correct track. I'll link to that in the top right. Once we do that, we unload and then we get paid. And that's all there is to it. So there's a few steps. Just make sure that you set the route before you try to pick up the mail, or you'll set off with an empty train. And that's all there is to it. So once again, I hope that's been useful. Leave me a like if it was. It's always good to get that feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. We'll be doing more live streams of train life coming up over the next few days and weeks. And hope you're enjoying the game. So until next time, all the best. Take care. Bye for now.